Hey guys, in preparation of putting the turbo in, we have to do some other stuff. We got to put the exhaust manifolds on. We got new gaskets. They came in the Molly kit, and we got exhaust manifolds. I Cerakoted these with turbine. What's it called? Turbine coat. It's good for 1800 degrees. And it's pretty tough. You know, you want to mask off the ports where the gasket hits. But yeah, it's pretty tough stuff. So let's put this one in real quick. Oops. As usual, the camera's always seems to be in the way. Alright. These are not directional with like an inside or an outside, I don't think. No, they might be. I would assume these flat sides go against the block, and the O-ring sides go against the manifold. So, of course, we're going to just hang this one, and I'll check the manual, make sure. But I'm pretty sure that's how it goes. So let's get a bolt. All right. So we're going to hang one side. This is the way I do stuff like this because it's awful heavy. If it'll work. Of course, things always want to be difficult. Just put that in a couple threads. Now, put the gasket in. I don't know if you can see the other end. There we go. What I do is hang one side like that, and then put a bolt in, put the gasket in, start that one like we did the other one. Take this one back out. This is a lot easier than try to get everything on there at the same time. There we go. Let's start a couple more. And then we'll go. I'm going to check the manual too and make sure. By the way, these are new exhaust manifold bolts. This is a new one. Let me give you an old one. And you'll understand why I bought a new one. Old one and a new one. Yeah, they get pretty. They take a lot of heat cycles and they just sit there and rust. I was trying to figure out a way to get them Cerakoted, but I would have to build a fixture to put them in, and I just, you know, for bolts, I don't know. Maybe if I was doing a whole bunch of these and trying to make them look pretty, I guess. The only reason I wanted to ceramic coat these is to keep the stupid things from rusting. Alright, I'm going to pause this. All the bolts are started. I'm going to pause this and check the gasket manual, make sure we got them in correctly, because we sure don't want to put them in wrong and have a leaker. So stand by. I didn't see anything in the literature for the that came with the gasket kit, so let's spin them in real quick. Apparently, all of my phone problems have been caused by a cord, an extension cord with a bad plug. So, got a different extension cord. I don't have any ends, or I'd redo it. For the other side manifold, I actually had to rerun the tap in all the bolt holes and clean them out, because it's been so long. I guess they had a little bit of rust in them. Once we do that, the bolts seem to go right in. I put never seize on them, so that if we ever have to get them out, we can. And the torque is 45 foot-pounds. So we didn't get to see the other one. Let's do this one. For tapping, I always use this. This is so old. They still make it though. It's I think it's made by Ideal. Yeah. It's just dark threading one. This is how they come out of the oven with the high temperature tape on. It just cooks it to death at that temperature. So let me get these cleaned off. I just use a razor blade to scrape it off, and then we'll get ready to install it. I'm going to pause the video while we do this. All right. Okay, we'll do it this one same way as the other one. Alright. The gasket. Let's go ahead and hang the gasket here. never sees. I know I'm not too impressed with the engine paint. Check that out. Just flakes off. That's dupli-color. Ceramic engine paint. Good for 500 degrees if you can get it to stick. And it's funny because the block was clean when we prepped it for paint, and then when we prepped it, we cleaned it all down with mineral spirits and blew it dry and put the paint on. I mean, what else are you supposed to do, right? I guess you could use a primer, but it didn't call for a primer, so I don't know. All right, 45 foot-pounds. I did them yesterday in 2 stages. Let's do that. Let's split the difference. Go to 25. First time around. If I can get the torque wrench to go up. Right, there we go. I don't know if there's a pattern. It's not listed one in the manual, but it's probably a good idea to start inside and work your way out so the gasket can spread if it needs to. Now we'll go to 45. We'll let that set for a little bit, crush that gasket, and then we'll come back and check torque again. And then it's time to dig out the, I don't know if we should do high volume pump, or the high pressure pump, I'm sorry, or the turbo. Okay, after looking at the valley and everything, and all the turbo work we got to do, we'll put this high pressure oil pump in. It seems to be easier to put in. It's a pretty straightforward install. For the high pressure oil pump, we decided on a, or I decided on a adrenaline pump, and it comes with a new set of O-rings for the IPR valve, but we just got a new IPR valve. We'll overhaul the old one, which was working okay. And we'll clean it, overhaul it, stuff it in a bag, and put it in a toolbox on the truck in case we need it while we're on the road. So, this is, if I can get it out of here, the adrenaline pump. When I purchased this one, these stainless steel fittings were an option. I believe they're standard now. I think they finally just flipped to doing them as a standard because they got a bunch of returns with people stripping out the aluminum housing. I just figured I'd get them because I don't want to strip out a housing. So, let's read the instructions and see where we go from there. Stand by. An interesting paragraph here. Remove the move the springs check valves found under the hose fittings. Do not reinstall the spring check valves into the new pump. Removal of the 2 check valves will balance oil in the heads right in the pump output now. Remove any aftermarket high pressure crossover line if you ever installed one. There is no need for it any longer, and as such, there is no need for unnecessary failure down the road of a part that is no longer needed. You will use the 2 O-rings supplied with your pump for the fittings when reinstalling these lines into your Adrenaline H. Well, guess what this is, guys? This is the crossover pipe for the oil. It goes between the heads and it's supposed to help with the number 8 oil starvation. But according to these guys, if I leave the check valves out, I don't need that crossover pipe. Yeah, I'll have to think about that. Just thought that was kind of interesting. Here's something interesting. My gasket kit has this one and this one. Now, let's flip this around so I can show you the difference here. This one, this hole is isolated. In this one, well, if I can get it on there right, this hole is tied to that hole. It goes around here and over. I wonder which one actually works for this install. I'm gonna have to go look that up. I've got the Ford manual. It'll tell me exactly which gasket to use. I'm sure there's a difference in designs. The gasket kit covers a whole bunch of year models. I'll have to check. Hang on a second. After doing some research, 84.5 to 95. This gasket's used from 96 on. Okay, and the bolts get tightened to 18 foot-pounds. Let me set up the camera and stand by. All right, that's a pretty good view. Of course, you pull the plug. Sure don't want to put it into the plug in there. Just line the gasket up. I can't even reach that bolt. Let me get I'm going to start these by hand because this is aluminum, so very easy to cross thread. You know, I need a longer extension. Come on. Alright, let's get the torque wrench set up. 18 foot-pounds. Like I said, this is aluminum. Do not over torque it. Piece of cake. Next is the drive gear and the bolt. The drive gear is helical cut, so it doesn't matter which way you put it in. Mine has a ring there, so I imagine that's the way it was in, so we'll put it back that way. Now you want to make sure it's on square. You don't want to have it cocked at all. No twists in it. Because if it's cocked, when we torque this, it's liable to slip. Because it's just a friction fit that's holding it on. Alright. This gets torqued to 95 foot-pounds. Let's see if we can do it without turning the engine over. I doubt it. We'll give it a shot. That's our man. That's Newton meters. Inch pounds. Foot pounds. Alright, here we go. I'll jump her up to 95. Alright. It's 88. Yeah, we're turning the engine, I think. Yep. You know, the crank bolt's at 250 some foot-pounds. Let me put a wrench on it. Alright. We'll pull against each other here. Let's see if it'll work. Yep. Alright. Didn't lack much. Alright, so now this pump is installed. We could put the rest of the reservoir together, but it's going to stick way up here. And we got to work in the valley. So I think we'll just retape this, block it off. And then we're going to work on that end of the engine, getting the turbo on and the up pipes. We ran out of space on the SD card. So what I was saying was we'll put the turbo in, the up pipes, and I've got some more Cerakote coming for the turbo housing, the exhaust side of it. We'll coat that because it's been sitting in a box for a year and it's already rusting, so I can imagine what it'll do on the truck. It'll probably look like the stock turbo that come out of there. It's just rusted all up. So we're going to put that together after it's Cerakoted. It's on its way. So let's put the IPR valve in. Here's our brand new IPR valve. I actually got this one from Rock Auto, of all places. They had the best price on it. It comes with a new gasket for the connector. And of course, oh wow, it's a sealed foil envelope. Brand new. Okay. All our O-rings are there. It's pre-oiled. The nut is loose, so we'll take that off. Take the spacer off. Take the solenoid coil off. It's already got the O-ring on it. Let's thread it in. I'm going to move the camera so we can actually see how this goes in. That looks good. Let's leave it there. So our new IPR valve goes in this plug right here. So we'll unscrew it. Alright. It's an 1 1/8" socket, and I forgot the torque, so stand by. Okay guys, 35 foot-pounds and then 53 inch-pounds on the tin nut. So, like I said before, take it easy. It's aluminum. You want to slide the solenoid on with the connector facing up. Put the spacer on. Put this nut on. Used to use this tiny beam wrench for valve body work. Alright, let's see what we get here. Hope you can see that. Let's see, the scale is now there. Okay. We need to go to 53. Yeah, we were almost there. In fact, we're past that. Alright, it's tight enough. Okay. That's it for that. We're going to tape this off now and prepare to do the turbo. This might be a good stopping point. Manifolds on. High pressure oil pump, which is one of the goodies. So, thanks for stopping by, guys. We're going to keep on going.